Welcome to the deep dive.
Oh,
Whoa, you've sent us like a whole mountain of stuff to go through this time. We've got news reports, tech articles, even some stuff from social media, and YouTube too.
right.
All about this Chinese AI company, DeepSeek, right? And their new AI, Janus Pro, is that it?
Yeah, Janus Pro. It is a pretty fascinating mix of sources, And what's really interesting is that we've got a truly global perspective here. We have viewpoints straight from China through that news report transcript, alongside, of course, those English language articles. Oh, and we even have the thoughts of some American tech YouTubers, those video transcripts you sent. It's fascinating.
It is, yeah. A really global picture. And you want to figure out what it all means, right? I mean, cut through the noise and get to the core of it all. Like the tech behind Janus Pro, why everyone is making such a fuss about it, and, well, what it all means, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've also highlighted this one pretty dramatic potential consequence, that DeepSeek's tech may have actually played a role in that U.S. tech stock crash recently, the one that wiped out billions in market value.
Billions. Wow. Okay, so let's dive right in then. First things first. Who is DeepSeek? Are they like some massive tech giant that I just totally missed?
Not a giant yet, I'd say, but they're definitely making a name for themselves. They're a Chinese AI startup, and they've already been attracting attention, especially for their DeepSeek chatbot app. Remember that? How it shot to the top of all the app stores, even beat ChatGPT here in the U.S. for a while.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember that. I kind of thought, okay, another chatbot. But I mean, if this is the same company behind Janus Pro, then maybe I underestimated them.
Yeah, they're making some bold moves for sure.
Yeah.
So to understand Janus Pro, we need to understand this term multimodal. It keeps popping up everywhere in the sources. You see, most AI systems, they're kind of specialized. They're good at one thing, like writing text or recognizing faces. Multimodal AI, it's about integrating different modes of information, images, text, sound, even numerical data, all processed together.
So instead of having like a bunch of separate AIs for different tasks, you have one AI that can handle it all.
Exactly. And Janus Pro. Specifically, it's good at two key things in this multimodal world: understanding images and generating images from text prompts.
Okay, so like those AI image generators that were all over social media a while back, like you type in a cat riding a unicorn on the moon and it just spits out an image.
Got it.
Yeah.
Except from what these sources are saying, Janus Pro is on a whole other level. It's way beyond those novelty generators, both in how complex the images it can generate are and in its ability to, actually understand the images it's processing. And that's really where the buzz is coming from.
Okay, so it's more than just a fun toy then. But I mean, why all the hype? What makes it so different from the other AI image generators out there?
Well, for one thing, all the sources are saying it's just performing better, way better than the competition in benchmarks. We're talking about beating some of the biggest names in the field. OpenAI's DALL-E 3, Stability AI Stable Diffusion, especially when you get into the complex stuff, complex image generation and understanding tasks.
Wow. Going head to head with the heavy hitters and winning. That's impressive. So superior performance. What else?
Here's the real kicker. It's free. Open source, I mean. DeepSeek released Janus Pro under the MIT license. That means anyone can use it, even for commercial purposes. No need to pay a dime.
Wow, that's a pretty radical move, isn't it? You're giving away cutting-edge technology for free. What's DeepSeek's game here?
Well, that's the billion-dollar question, literally, given the impact this is having on the stock market. But before we get to those wider ramifications, there's another key factor contributing to all the buzz. It's efficiency.
Efficiency? You mean energy efficient? Good for the planet?
That too, potentially. But I was thinking more about computational efficiency. Even the most powerful version of Janus Pro, the one with 7 billion parameters, it can run on a standard gaming PC. As long as it's got a decent graphics card, that is. You don't need one of those, supercomputers that cost millions of dollars.
Ah, I see. So it's powerful and accessible. I'm starting to see why people are talking about a major shift in the AI landscape. This could really shake things up.
Exactly. And a lot of it comes down to the unique way they built Janus Pro. One of their key innovations, they say, is something called decoupled visual encoding. Essentially, instead of having one part of the model that tries to both understand and generate images, they've split those processes up.
Interesting. So it's like having specialist teams for each task.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. And this separation, this decoupling, is what DeepSeek says allows Janus Pro to be so good at both tasks, individually, leading to better overall performance and flexibility.
Makes sense. Anything else about the tech behind Janus Pro that's worth highlighting?
Well, they also talk about using these massive, diverse data sets to train Janus Pro. Not just images and text, but even things like tables and charts. And then there's this whole complex thing called a corrective flow generative model, which is a bit technical to get into here.
Yeah, maybe we can save that for the folks who really want to get into the nitty-gritty. What's important for us is that all of this, combined with the decoupled encoding and the diverse training data, that's what's giving Janus Pro that edge in image quality, right?
Exactly. It's all about the synergy.
Okay, so we've covered who DeepSeek is, what makes Janus Pro different, and why it's generating so much excitement. But you also mentioned like a potential connection to that U.S. tech stock crash. That seems like a pretty dramatic consequence for an AI image generator, even a really good one. What's the story there?
Well, it all comes down to the implications of those three key factors we've already discussed: performance, open source availability, and efficiency. Think about companies like NVIDIA. They specialize in those super expensive AI chips. If suddenly anyone can run cutting-edge AI on just a standard PC using Janus Pro.
Then who needs those pricey chips? I see where you're going with this. Suddenly, NVIDIA's future doesn't look so bright.
Exactly. And it's not just about hardware. I mean, DeepSeek's rapid rise, coupled with this whole open source approach, it's challenging this whole notion of U.S. dominance in the AI field.
So it's not just an economic threat, but a potential like geopolitical power shift as well. It seems like Janus Pro is kicking up quite the storm.
It really is. And we haven't even touched on the potential societal impact of this technology.
Right. Let's dive into that next. What are the big ethical and societal questions surrounding Janus Pro and its potential uses?
That's where things get even more complicated. There are concerns about copyright issues, especially with all these AI-generated images. If Janus Pro creates an image based on an artist's style, who owns the rights to that image? The artist or the person who used the AI?
That's a tough one. And then there are all the privacy implications. If this AI can analyze images and maybe even understand personal data, what are the safeguards against misuse?
Exactly. Imagine Janus Pro being used to recognize faces in photos and then connect that information to other personal data online. That gets into some pretty murky territory.
And of course, there's the potential for, malicious use, deepfakes, propaganda, creating visually convincing misinformation. Suddenly those fun AI image generators seem a lot less innocent.
Right. It's important to remember that with any powerful technology, there's potential for both good and bad.
So we have this incredibly powerful new AI that's shaking up the industry, potentially reshaping the global landscape, but also raising a whole host of ethical questions. It's a lot to process.
It really is. Yeah. And we're just scratching the surface. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a closer look at what Janus Pro can actually do. It's not just about generating these cool images. There's a whole range of potential applications being explored here. And these sources highlight some pretty amazing examples. Ready to dig a little deeper?
Absolutely. Let's explore what this AI can really do.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about Janus Pro's potential to revolutionize a bunch of different fields. It's not all just hype, though.
Right. These sources, they go beyond the, what ifs, and they actually give some real examples of how people are using Janus Pro, right now.
Yeah, one that really stood out to me was how social media creators are using it to create really stunning content. There's this transcript from a YouTuber who used Janus Pro to design custom characters and backgrounds for their latest video.
Oh, that's cool. I'm picturing all sorts of possibilities for indie filmmakers, animators.
Yeah.
People who couldn't afford to hire those big studios and special effects teams.
Yeah, exactly. That's a key point here. This democratizing effect of this technology. Okay. It's giving people the power to do things that were just completely out of reach before, like that social media post you flagged, remember, where that person was talking about using Janus Pro to design their company logo. They said it was faster and cheaper than hiring a designer.
Right. That's a great example of how this isn't just for, big companies or techie people. It's something that anyone can potentially use. Mm-hmm. What other applications are people excited about?
Education is a big one.
Yeah.
Imagine teachers using Janus Pro to create custom illustrations for their lessons, bringing history or science to life. There's even potential for personalized learning, with AI tutors that can adapt to each student's needs.
Wow, that would be a game changer, huh? Especially for students who, struggle with the traditional way of teaching. It'd be like having a personal tutor who can like tailor the lessons just for you.
Exactly. And it's not just about making learning more fun. Think about subjects that are traditionally hard to visualize, like abstract concepts in physics or complex biological processes. Janus Pro could make those things way more accessible, easier to understand.
Yeah, I remember struggling with that stuff in school. So we've got creativity, education, any other fields where Janus Pro is making waves.
Well, healthcare is another area where things are getting really interesting. There's mention of a hospital that's testing Janus Pro's ability to analyze medical images, things like X-rays and scans. And apparently it's showing some really impressive accuracy in, identifying abnormalities.
That's incredible. If it can help doctors make diagnoses, that could potentially like save lives.
Yeah. It could also speed up diagnoses and reduce the workload on healthcare professionals, give them more time to focus on, other aspects of patient care. It's got a lot of potential benefits. Yeah. But, we also need to think about the implications.
You're right. Like, what happens to the role of, doctors and radiologists if AI can analyze medical images just as well or even better? It raises some important questions about, like, the future of healthcare.
Definitely. But the possibilities don't stop there. DeepSeek has some pretty ambitious plans for the future of Janus Pro. They're talking about pushing the boundaries even further, exploring new applications in things like smart transportation, smart homes, even personalized medicine.
Wow. They're really aiming to, like, integrate this tech into every part of our lives. What does that even look like, though?
Well, think about smart transportation. Janus Pro could analyze real-time traffic patterns, to optimize routes, maybe even help prevent accidents by like identifying potential hazards before they happen. Or imagine a smart home that can not only like respond to your voice commands, but also understand your visual cues. Like if it sees that you're feeling down, it could adjust the lighting or, play some soothing music.
Okay, that's next level stuff. But DeepSeek isn't the only one working on, multimodal AI, right? There are other companies in the game.
Right. But what DeepSeek did by releasing Janus Pro as open source, it really shook things up. It's like they sparked this whole new wave of innovation and competition in the AI field.
So it's like they threw down the gauntlet and said, okay, everybody, let's see what you got.
Exactly. And this open source approach is forcing other companies to really rethink their strategies. Some are embracing it, collaborating and contributing to open source AI development. Right. Others are doubling down on their proprietary models, trying to like hold on to their competitive edge.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. On the one hand, you have this like open and collaborative approach, which could really accelerate progress and, make AI more accessible to everybody. On the other hand, there are some valid concerns about the risks of making powerful AI freely available.
Exactly. It's a double-edged sword. And this tension between openness and control, between collaboration and competition, that's going to be a key theme in the future of AI.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. We've gone from like the technical details of Janus Pro to the potential impact on whole industries, the ethical considerations, and now this global race to develop and control AI. It's mind-boggling.
It is. And remember, this is just one example, one company, one specific AI. The field of AI is it's vast and it's evolving so rapidly. What we're seeing with DeepSeek and Janus Pro is just a glimpse of what's to come.
I'm almost afraid to ask, but what else is out there? What other incredible AI breakthroughs are happening right now?
That's a great question, and it's one we'll definitely keep exploring in future deep dives. But before we get too carried away, let's bring it back to you for a second. Of all the potential applications we've talked about, which ones resonate with you the most? Which possibilities really spark your imagination?
That's a good question. There's so much to be excited about and to be cautious about too. But before I share my thoughts, I think we need to pause here and take a breath. We'll be back soon to wrap up this deep dive and explore what all this amazing technology really means.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of DeepSeek and their game-changing AI, Janus Pro.
Before the break, you asked which of Janus Pro's potential applications resonated with me the most. Honestly, there are so many possibilities. It's hard to even pick one. But I guess if I had to choose, I think the potential impact on healthcare is just incredible.
It is pretty fascinating, isn't it? The idea that AI could, help diagnose diseases earlier, more accurately, potentially even save countless lives.
Exactly. I mean, just the thought of AI assisting doctors, maybe even catching things that human eyes would miss, it's exciting and a little bit daunting too.
It definitely raises some interesting questions about, the role of healthcare professionals going forward. But
Mm.
I think ultimately it's about um, augmenting human expertise,
Hmm.
not replacing it.
Yeah, I agree. It's about giving doctors these like powerful new tools to help them do their jobs even better. And speaking of powerful tools, I was also really struck by the potential of Janus Pro to transform education. Imagine like students having access to personalized AI tutors, ones that can adapt to their individual learning styles.
That's a powerful concept. Could really revolutionize how we teach and learn, make education uh, more accessible and effective for everyone.
Absolutely. It could help like level the playing field, give everyone the opportunity to reach their full potential. And you know what? For me, the most exciting application has to be in the creative industries. I mean, the idea that anyone, regardless of, their technical skills or whatever, could use AI to bring their artistic vision to life. That's incredibly empowering.
It is. It's like democratizing creativity, right?
Yeah.
Imagine like aspiring filmmakers, musicians, game developers, being able to create professional quality content without, needing massive budgets or teams of experts.
Exactly. It's opening up a whole world of possibilities for artists and creators, from all walks of life. But we've also talked about the potential downsides, right? Those ethical concerns are real, and we can't just like ignore them.
No, absolutely not. We can't just blindly embrace this technology without, thinking about the potential consequences.
Right. We need to be having these like open and honest conversations about, things like the potential for misuse, the impact on jobs and the economy, and how to make sure that this technology is used responsibly, ethically.
Yeah. It's about finding that balance,
Yeah.
navigating the complexities responsibly, being aware of the potential pitfalls while also embracing the opportunities.
And it's not just about like governments and corporations making these decisions. We as individuals need to be informed, engaged. We need to understand how this technology works, what it can do,
Yeah.
and what it means for our future.
And this deep dive, it's given us, a glimpse into that future, a future where AI isn't some like distant science fiction concept, but an integral part of our daily lives.
And it's a future that's unfolding right now, like at an incredible pace.
Which is exactly why deep dives like this are so important.
Yeah.
They give us a chance to pause, to reflect, to really like grapple with these complex issues.
Yeah.
And explore the possibilities.
So where do we go from here? What's the next step?
That's the question, isn't it? We've explored the potential, the pitfalls, the implications. Now it's up to each of you listening to decide what it all means for you.
Yeah. What resonates with you? What excites you? What concerns you? What questions do you still, have?
This is just the beginning of the conversation. It's time to take this knowledge and start asking those tough questions, to engage with your community, to be a part of shaping this future.
Because one thing is clear: the future of AI isn't predetermined. It's a future that we, collectively have the power to shape.
Absolutely. So keep learning, keep exploring, and keep asking those big questions.
This has been the Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of AI. Until next time.